Yeah.
The Marvels, directed by Nia DaCosta, Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, Miss Marvel. All their powers get entangled.
An entanglement with August. An entanglement with August. An entanglement with August.
Every time they use them, they switch places and they have to stop Dar-Benn, who is the antagonist of the film. And yeah, things I liked. I like Brie Larson in this role. I've always liked Brie Larson in this role. I love Teyana Paris as Monica Rambeau. I loved her in WandaVision. I love seeing her back here. I loved Amal Vellani in Miss Marvel. I love her here. I think all three have great chemistry. I love Samuel Jackson. I love him as Nick Fury all the way up until Secret Invasion. I did not enjoy Secret Invasion. I don't like that now that we've left Secret Invasion, now we're just kind of joking up the character. I don't know. Nick Fury used to be a badass. I mean, he would have funny things to say, but he used to be a badass. But if we're joking him up and that's what we're doing, and I don't have any control over what they want to do with this character, I have to be honest, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the character. I like Nick Fury. I like Samuel Jackson playing Nick Fury, and he had a lot of funny things to say. And I think he bounced off the main cast very well. The action, I think the action in this movie is very, very good. I think it's a huge step up from the likes of Ant-Man. I think it's probably a step below Thor: Love and Thunder in terms of action and visuals, but I think it's still in that ballpark. I think the action was pretty cool, and I think the visuals were pretty consistent. There weren't any effects that just made me go, oh, what the fuck. A couple of times the cats were kind of extra, but no, for the most part, this movie looked cool. It had a lot of great cinematography. There were a lot of shots that I really enjoyed. There's a lot of fun to be had in this film. It's a very entertaining movie. I had a smile on my face for most of it. Things I didn't like. The villain. This is one of their weaker villains, definitely. Not a whole lot in the way of personality, not a whole lot in the way of presence. I would say that the actor didn't pull much out of the role, but now having seen the movie twice, I can tell that there just wasn't that much on the page for this villain anyway. This character just doesn't really have anything interesting to say or do. I felt her motivation. I felt her determination. I understand that she wanted to defend her people and give her people and her home the resources that it needs to thrive. However, I did not give half a dick about this villain. Is she the worst MCU villain? I will not go that far. We've had much worse MCU villains in the past, but this is definitely not one of their stronger ones. This is also not one of their stronger scripts. This script is a little bit of a mess. It feels like there's a whole nother movie that happens before this story happens. It's very jumbled. There are a lot of plot points that don't get a lot of time spent on them, and therefore, when they want to have emotional moments or big, grandiose, dramatic payoffs near the end, you don't really feel it. And the reason you don't really feel it is because instead of spending time with these characters and spending time talking about what each of these characters is feeling at any kind of moment, how they are responding to certain situations, we don't spend that time doing that. We instead spend time joking around and going to singing planets and playing with cats and being goofy, which I didn't mind. I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it, just like I was entertained by Thor: Love and Thunder. You know what I mean? The pitfalls of this movie, I would have happily sacrificed the funny and the fun to have a much tighter narrative and to have much deeper and richer character connections, not only amongst the people on the screen, but actually a connection built between me as an audience member and the characters themselves. Lacking. This film is lacking in everything that used to make the MCU great. And I feel like we're just starting to wash, rinse, and repeat the same issues and complaints, movie to movie to movie to movie. The first act is fun. I personally found the second act fun. I've heard people complaining about the singing planet. I thought it was fun. I thought I liked the colorful nature of it. I like the goofiness of it. Does it feel like Diet Guardians? A little bit, but I don't know. I enjoyed that aspect of the film. Third act is a mess. A lot of things just kind of get brought up and skimmed over. We don't spend a lot of time on anything actually serious or dramatic or emotional. The emotional beats in this film are appreciated but undercooked. The film is short, which is refreshing. However, I could have easily went for another 25 or 30 minutes if it meant a richer story. End credit scene was exciting at first. I love seeing Beast. I love seeing Maria Rambeau. I love the idea that Monica is now in a separate reality or something, an alternate reality, a parallel reality, whatever they want to call this. The ending is very anticlimactic. Monica feeling a way about her mother having passed away while she was snapped. That is definitely somewhere intriguing that you could go. Unfortunately, the movie doesn't do anything with it besides just bringing it up. Carol Danvers being basically the cause of whatever Dar-Benn is pissed off about. Yeah, it seems like an interesting idea. Unfortunately, the film is not interested in spending time with said idea, so we don't feel any kind of investment towards it. I would have loved for Nick Fury to have a moment where he actually talked about losing Talos, who was in Captain Marvel. By the way, Talos is not mentioned a single time in this movie. Talos was one of the biggest characters in Captain Marvel, and he was one of the bigger characters in Secret Invasion. Unfortunately, he was killed for shock value instead of plot relevance and forwarding character dynamics. But this ain't about Secret Invasion. This is about the Marvels. And here in the Marvels, I was irritated that they never talk about Talos, especially with the fact that we see a whole nother group of Skrulls in this movie. By the way, why do we keep wasting the Skrulls? Y'all aren't doing anything with this group of people. I don't know why you introduced them. And I don't want to hear the bullshit of, oh, it's going to be important later. It's not important now. So why are they taking up an entire section of the story? This movie's only an hour and 40. They take up a whole section of this film just to not even be mentioned after they're gone. By the way, they're also here to just bring us a very cheap Valkyrie cameo that was for some reason put into the last trailer they released for this movie as a last second desperate ass attempt to get some last minute butts in the seats, and it was bullshit. This movie is fun. It is entertaining. I would not mind watching it again because it is fun and it is entertaining. However, the MCU used to give us projects that were consistently impactful, memorable, well written, well constructed, consistent, focused. And this is somebody that enjoys the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I was entertained by it. I've enjoyed most of what the MCU has been doing over the years. Like, if I just look at it in a vacuum, and go, did I enjoy watching this? Most of their content, yeah, I've been enjoying it. That doesn't mean I'm like over the moon about it or happy about it. Y'all could be doing a whole lot better. So I guess we just have to keep waiting until they eventually do better. If I were you, I would not listen to anybody saying that this movie is horrendous. It is not. However, it's not great either. It's a lot of problems. It's a lot of great things. I think there are things that lead to a promising future. At the same time, it's starting to feel like there are so many pieces on the board that they're not moving, that it's just starting to feel like a mess. We have yet to talk about the Celestial sticking out of the ground. We have yet to talk about Shang-Chi and these 10 rings. We haven't addressed the fact that Wanda apparently is like dead now in the most anticlimactic way possible. Thor is about to be dealing with Hercules. Also, Thor has like a goddaughter slash niece now, so that's a thing, I guess. Namor and a whole nother nation of people exists now. There's a whole nother king of Wakanda now. There's a whole nother Black Panther now. Shout out to Shuri. Ant-Man kind of fought a variant of Kang already before. Also, Loki's in charge of the timeline. Spoilers. Yeah, there's a kabillion fucking things going on. The last thing I really am thinking about right now is a Beast cameo. Even though it was exciting, even though it definitely got the blood pumping in the theater, ever since I've seen that and I've just been kind of sitting with it and thinking about it and letting it rest and letting it cook, why am I getting excited if there's such a strong possibility that they're not even going to give it the proper script and storytelling time that it needs? I don't know how to remain excited for new characters and new things and new teams and all this stuff when it seems like all y'all want to do is joke around and make diet Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I know this video is a little all over the place, but I don't even want to talk about the Marvels, honestly. And that's probably why it took me so long to make this video. I don't even really want to talk about this. I felt like I had to. I want to have fun talking about the MCU because I love the MCU. But I don't know, they're not giving me much to say these days, so, I'm just gonna wait until I have something more entertaining to say. Please don't get in the comments about no MCU and agendas and all this shit, like, I don't care about all that shit. Just I'm not here to talk about that kind of bullshit. I'm here to just talk about whether I enjoyed the movie or not, and me personally, I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. I think the movie's okay. Unfortunately, as an MCU fan, I've come to expect a little bit better than okay. I don't need every film to be Guardians 3 or Winter Soldier or Civil War or Infinity War or No Way Home or Iron Man 1, but I think they need to be a little bit better than Ant-Man and the Marvels and Hawkeye and Secret Invasion. I'm gonna go talk about something I actually want to talk about, and I'll see you guys later.